So, good evening everyone. You are watching the Slydog Racing League on YouTube tonight, presented by Grace Bespoke, your printing and embroidery specialists. Visit gracebespoke.co.uk for more. I'm Seb Bauer, glad you're with us tonight for races 8 and 9 in China and Austria. So, as we always know, as we always see in the Slydog Racing League, we will have a 2-race event here today. We will see a 18 minutes qualifying on the first track, that is China, then followed by a 25% lap race. That should be around about 13-14 laps, I would like to say. And afterwards, the second race will be held on the Red Bull Ring in Austria. And for the second race, we will reverse the top 10 grid from the first race. So whoever finishes in P9 and P10 in China will line up in the front row in the second race. So as soon as we get close to the end of the first race, we expect a lot of action around P9, 10, 11 roundabout. We have, as always, full safety car and VSC rules, full rules and flags, of course. Weather is set to dynamic. That could possibly be something to talk about on these two tracks. The rest of the assists looks like this. So up to medium traction control, manual gearbox. You have to manually start after the tire change, so nothing too special, I would like to call. And these are the two tracks. So as mentioned, the first one in China with this rather long main straight in sector 3. China came into the Formula 1 in 2004, and to that time the main straight was tremendously long. It still is very long, but as we have seen tracks like in Mexico or in Baku, it's not the longest anymore. Track difficulty is hard, especially the snail turns in sector 1 and the medium pace turns in sector 2 are not that easy to take. 5.5 kilometers of length, 16 turns, lap record still dating back to Michael Schumacher from 2004, 1:32.2. I expect our drivers to be round about somewhere between 3 or 4 seconds faster than Schumi was, in case it should be a dry qualifying. The second race, as mentioned, Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria, is ruled very easy. Indeed it is. 10 turns, and the track is more or less, especially sector 1 and 2, is actually more or less one tremendously long DRS zone. Just a few turns in between the DRS zones. The lap record is set 1:06.9 from Kimi Räikkönen in 2018. I have seen a virtual racing driver this week posting a lap time that was 1:01, so almost under 1 minute. I'm not sure if our drivers will get that done, but I am sure that we will be many seconds faster than the real life time here too. The track is one of the shortest, I think actually the second shortest behind Monaco, where we barely reach the 3 kilometers length. And so the session timer has ticked down. We will sadly not have a totally full grid tonight, but almost full. 19 drivers it's now. And yeah, well, it's Christmas time. Christmas time, trucks everywhere. Hectic is on in the last days of preparation for Christmas, so just normal that not everyone has time to join here on this Monday evening. During the season, we have changed the qualifying rules, so now we are into a short quali, means 18 minutes of time, and that is good. That is rather good, I would like to say. So we have a bit of time to talk about some things that are going on in the Slydog Racing League, and the races afterwards will be very hectic. They are usually very action-packed with just 25% length. There's not a lot of room to think about strategy, to go for undercuts or whatever. In 25% races, it's just fighting, and so at least we have a little bit of time, a little bit of not too much hectic in the quali. It's cloudy day here in Shanghai, but it seems like it's dry to me. In my commentator booth, at least, it looks like. As soon as we can jump to the first driver going out. There are a bunch of drivers leaving the pits now. Here we go. The first one is Known Asylum, one of our tier 2 drivers, who has been promoted to tier 1 today as the grid is not full. He is running on softs, so it is dry. We have 19 drivers, just one spot missing for a full grid. Let's get in some more information right now. Ooh, and he has spun on his outlap. So this is one very unique way how to get some temperature in your tires. He's waiting for a safe spot to come back to the track. So, we have already the first penalty of the session. Josef Morados picked it up. There's some debris laying there on this little straight here, and Josef Morados didn't see quickly enough who he collided with, but Josef Morados in the second Ferrari will have a +5 in the starting grid later. I have lost the person who was the first one now, who will be the first to deliver us a hot lap. In case Known Asylum does not pit in again, we will just stay with him for his first hot lap. Yep, he goes for the flyer right behind our chatty duck ahead, the Brit living in Canada. Nice that you found some time on your Monday afternoon to join us. And this is the snail turns I was speaking about. Very much patience needed here, especially as we have maximally medium traction control. It's easy to lose your car while accelerating, even if it's dry. Here's the end of sector 1, beginning of sector 2, and Now we will see a lot of left-right combinations of medium or fast-paced turns. Known Asylum did not get the first combination clearly, but it's rather okay. You can see the gap to Jetty Duck in front, how much the Duck is racing away from him already. So this is the beginning of Sector 3, a long right-hander turn, very easy to lose the car when it's rainy, I can tell you. And this is the beginning of this long straight I was speaking of. Here's the DRS zone. If the race will be dry, this DRS zone will be incredibly important later. Yeah, and there's just one left-hander left, and this is one lap in Shanghai, and Known Asylum, yeah, is 1.8 seconds slower than Jetty Duck. We saw that from his cockpit view that he was slower, and 1.8 seconds is already quite a lot. We have the first hot laps coming in. Jetty Duck has been topped by Granty Boy, 1:30.7, already 1.5 seconds faster roundabout than the real life times. So let's jump to somewhere we see a driver on a hot lap. That is maybe Albert de Witt. He's one of them who's trying his first hot lap on mediums. So let's see where it brings him. Oh, 3 seconds behind Granty Boy, and Granty Boy posted his hot laps on medium. Wow, that's really a statement from Granty Boy, because we all know the Parc Fermé rule that says that you have to start the race on the set of tire you have qualified on when you are in the top 10. From P11 on, you have the free choice of tire. So yeah, we see Albert de Witt and Osborne. Both drivers are 3 seconds slower than Granty Boy, likewise on mediums. And Jetty Duck is already 7.5 tenths slower on softs. So yeah, our overall leader has just shown why he is in the prime position. Brings me to the overall standings. I mentioned it already, Granty Boy in prime position. Granty Boy leading our Slydog pack with 161 points after 7 races, but he only participated in 6 of them. So that even backs up this huge statement from him. And in P2 we see Chris Panda with minus 33 points. So whatever should happen in this race, Granty Boy will definitely stay in the leading position. And on P3 is the Jetty Duck with already minus 82 points. So even before we reach the halfway mark of the season, it's already rather clear who is the one to beat in this second season of the Slydog Racing League. So let's search for another one who is potentially on a hot lap. That is maybe David Lawson in his Alpha Tauri. Yes, he is on a hot lap. Let's see where the time will stop for him. He's already in the last sector on the long straights. Doesn't even try to run on mediums, and he has aborted his hot lap, it seems. Yes, jumping into the pits. This has not worked out as he hoped for it. And behind him in the Williams is Leonard Cam, who is on a rather slow hot lap likewise, maybe just a second warm-up lap, so to speak. Hopefully he has enough of gasoline with him to go for another shot. Another one on a hot lap is maybe James Punt. Looks good for him. The second Mercedes together with Slydog. Let's see where the clock stops for him. Oh, P3, not bad, not bad. Only the two Mercedes are able to stay within a second of our duck. Of our Granty Boy, of course, I'm sorry. So, we have not seen a hot lap yet from Chris Panda. His name is actually Chris Panda. I think he renamed his PSN alias in CRL Panda. And he has already aborted it. He's on mediums. He recognized very early that this will not be enough, not be sufficient to be anywhere near Granty Boy, and so he will get back to the pits here, I would like to assume, and try again on the Reds, the soft tire. So while the one McLaren returns to the pits, let's jump to the other McLaren. This is Trem, usually our host, usually our manager of the league. Trem is not the host tonight. Today the session is hosted by James Punt. And Trem, who hopefully does not have a problem here, it's just warming up his tires. Trem, he was unsure if he was able to start today. He sadly had an domestic accident this week or the last few days, and he is hurt but still with us tonight. Has a let's call it damaged finger and luckily just a finger, but for us gamers we know that fingers are incredibly important, and I hope that it will be alright for him today and that he will be able to race not too much of pain with us here tonight. He has just started his second hot lap and he is already on an improvement, about 3/10 his improvement compared to his first hot lap. Let's see what he's able to do here in Sector 2 in the technical turns. There's a Ferrari in front of him, but should not affect him too much. Ooh, already 7/10 up on his primarily set time. That's really good. If he can keep that up, he would push himself into a top 10 position, somewhere around Liam, UFC fan Liam, or known Asylum, I would like to guess. He does not hit the limiter here on the straight. That means that his McLaren is set up a bit more on downforce to make it more easier for him to get through the turns. And Trem lost a bit of improvement, but still a top 10 position right at P10. So we have still not seen times from Leonard Cam and Chris Panda, as well as one of my two special friends. That is the special friends I'm mentioning. That's Zirtz in P18 and Svdgat in P16, who is grey at the moment. We will have to see if he can rejoin and try to post a better lap time than he has, because this lap with plus 6.5 seconds will give him the last position. And so Panda and Leonard Cam are on an out lap, should be on a hot lap. Chris Panda here at the end of sector 1. Leonard Cam right behind him, end of sector 1 here too. So let's stay with Chris Panda here for the moment and let's hope that he can have a good lap and be somewhere close to the front rows to have a great fight between the championship contenders in this race. Ooh, and while he is in his last sector, Granty Boy has even improved his time still, or again on a medium set, a 1:30.3. That's even more impressive than it was before. Panda had a little bit of a problem here in the last turn, and that gives him P2, front row, right next to his big rival. That is a good thing, but still 8.5 tenths separate them, even though that he is on the potentially faster tire. And Leonard Cam finally has made it on a hard lap here, or not. For me, the game says that his lap time is 4.5 minutes long. That's rather impossible, I would like to say. Now he's ruled on an out lap again. I think there could be some problems. There could be some troubles for our second Williams. I think he's actually the only Williams right now. And Leonard Cam did not have the best races lately, was unable to compete in the mainstream racing series last week's Wednesday, and did not have the best result in the last Grand Prix in France, and seems like he does not have a good start to this event either. Yeah, it's back to the pits. He will not be able to make it on a hot lap before the clock hits zeros. So, oh no, now there is a time ruled. Finally I see it. P6 for Leonard Cam. Okay, that's not bad. 1.5 seconds behind Granty Boy, but that's not bad. P6, third starting row. That's quite good. And for the moment, let's have a look at someone who is still chasing times here for the last minute of the qualifying. We see Albert de Witt, who is improving himself by around a second right now. If he could hang on to it, that would mean the front row, first starting row, if he can hang on. P5 is already a good one, but P2 would be tremendously good, of course. But he has aborted the time, or the clock is not correctly for today. Yep, no, he aborted it. No improvement for Albert de Witt. The pole is to Grantiboy. That was already sure and very clear from the early get-go. P2 Chris Panda should be rather safe. We see Jetty Duck still on a hot lap. He is level to his first hot lap in Sector 1. Let's see what Sector 2 will bring him. Albert de Witt is already through. Leonard Cam is through. So P5, P6 are rather decided if there is no late lunch from anyone from beyond. And what will Chatty Duck do? That's rather the only big question left in this qualifying. P3 or P2. Panda and Duck, the two cute little animals. And Chatty Duck will jump up in P2. Chatty Duck in 2. The duck beats the panda and almost got himself to the Granty Boy time. Almost, but just almost. And we have seen a late hot lap from our new FC fan Liam, giving him P4, followed by James Punt in 5, Albert de Witt then in 6, Leonard Cam 7, Josef Marados in 8, Brian Wheeler, good result for him in P9, and David Lawson in P10. All of them will have to start on this set of tire that is depicted here in the table right now. So means everyone on softs except the Ranty Boy. Well, there has been some kind of a crash here in the end of our session. This is Brian Wheeler. Funny thing, because the CPU has taken over every car here, getting them more or less back into the pits. Not everyone, as we can see here. And yeah, I didn't want to mention it in the early start of this event, but we have seen a few technical issues here in the Slydog Racing League in the last weeks. Especially, of course, on last week's Monday, when we sadly had to abort our first stream, our first event, and had a race with only 1/3 of the guys being named, so that was really a pity. And yeah, right now it seems that there is something not working like it should. We of course do not see 97 laps left in the qualifying. And this is rather the end of the qualifying on this special way. So sadly, the technical issues haunt and follow us in the mainstream racing series, and we will probably have to restart the event and the stream. So we will see us in just a moment.